I would like to announce my retirement as a college basketball coach. It's been real, Louisville. First of all, a very, very hard-fought battle. You know, Clemson's got, I think, the second best rated defense in our league, and their physicality, especially in the first half, you know, knocked us back. I thought our defense was every bit as good. You know, we made a point of trying to keep Elijah Thomas's touches in the paint down as best we could. He's as good of a big as there is in our league. And, you know, probably saw that in the last, 5-8 minutes. He does a great job of sealing, and we didn't continue that trend all the way through, limiting his paint touches. But it was a hard game to score. You know, when you miss a shot against Clemson, they're not going to race it back up and try to attack. They're going to play that tennis match. And, I give our kids credit for being able to withstand that mental grind. We're going to play a couple other teams are going to do that to us as well, and not let it diminish our defensive effort. I know what you're going to ask about. I thought in the very beginning what got us that lead was our ability to attack the pressure and result in some good things. You know, we are able to get over the half-court stripe, get into a set play, which resulted for a Jordan dunk and one, gave more separation. I think the very next time they pressed us, we did exactly what we wanted to. We flashed a guy. The wing flew down the floor, and Ryan makes a great pass, I think, to Malik, and he dunks the ball. So, down the stretch, again, we have to figure out ways to close games better. And, I told our team, mental errors and physical errors cannot be tolerated in winning time. It's the first time our guys have ever been in positions where they are closing games. And what I mean by that, they're on the floor, they're in the moment, they're closing the game. And so, we had maybe against Florida State and Duke, maybe two of the toughest locker rooms that I've been in the regular season. And I'm sure to a certain extent, those ghosts were probably in our guys' minds a little bit. But we just have to be stronger with the ball. That's all I can tell you. We have to, it's one of those things where, Dwayne hunches over the ball. It's like I told him, you have to be able to pivot and move the ball so they can't just reach in and get an easy jump ball. We'll get better because of it. I tell you this, I might have retired had we not blocked that shot at the very end. Guys got to be able to stand up, though, when we're breaking a press and not fall down like they're walking down to a wine cellar.
Coach, it seemed like there was not a lot of energy from the team, especially early. It seemed like it was a lot of one-on-one, not a lot of off.
I don't agree with that. They're a team that's really hard to extend. Mm-hmm. With ball screen action, which we're a team that tries to get the ball in the paint. Our bigs were very ineffective on offense, and so while I think that. We missed some shots, and we tried to stretch them and spread them. They're a team that doesn't exert a lot of energy outside the arc. So it's hard to stretch Clemson. And we were trying to do it in different ways, and we couldn't. And then, you go 1 for 9. I think there were some decent looks. And, again, they tried to take the air out of the ball coming to offense. So, again, you're going to play some games like that. But I thought if our energy level was bad, we would have been porous on defense.
Yeah, no doubt. And as far as do you think there was any feeling sorry for themselves after the Duke letdown? Was that a part of what happened today? I
don't know about that choice of words of feeling sorry for ourselves, but when you invest a lot and you love your teammates and you want your team to win, yeah, it hurts a hell of a lot. But I don't think they felt sorry for ourselves. Maybe in the immediacy of the game, but I thought we sort of wiped that out, over the last couple of days, and look forward to a team that was just as desperate as Louisville.
Coach, speaking of the last couple of days, I know that you didn't watch the Duke film, but
yes, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
I watched it several times.
Okay. What did you tell the team, I guess, today as the game was going on, as it wasn't a sense of them, I guess, playing with the urgency that you probably wanted them to, or did you get everything situated to get this win?
Well, I thought we did play with urgency. I think offensively we weren't very good, but I thought our defensive effort. They shoot 38%. You know, their 3-point percentage at the end of the game is 46, but they make 2 or 3 threes in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Their whole identity is to go inside. I thought, again, for the better part of the game, our team was locked in defensively. Like I said, they're the number 2 defensive team in the country. They play very slow. So it's going to be hard at times to look like a game that sort of high-flying and guys moving around. And, again, maybe that contributes to what you think is a lack of energy.
Chris, you mentioned Dwayne's posture, but there have been a couple other guys who have fallen too. Is that also posture with them and just how they're carrying themselves, trying to catch those passes and get open? Or
no, I meant when I said posture, I'm talking about the tie-up. If I hold this water bottle like this and you come over and grab it and I don't move it, you're going to be able to grab it. If you come over and I go like this, it'll be tough for you.
Chris, Jordan had 2 blocks today.
The big one was the second one.
Right.
So we really worked on when we can't break a press to come out of nowhere and block shots.
I was going to ask you if the blocks is in any way indicative of how far he's come defensively this year, or
Jordan is so much better defensively here in February than he was in October, and it's not even close. Part of it's just game experience. He's a very thoughtful kid. He loves his teammates, and when you're out there for an extended period of time where your teammates are leaning on you and you let him down, he's one that's going to feel accountable to those guys. And I think he learned that over time, and he's gotten fundamentally better. On the defensive end, his technique is much better. His desire is much better, and so we need him to be a good. If you have one guy that lets down or doesn't do what the other 4 are doing, you're not going to be a good defensive team.
Coach, you talked earlier about the fact your team just has to find a way to close out games. Are you concerned that these late game breakdowns might be becoming a trend for your team? If you aren't, why? Yeah,
I'm always concerned. I'm concerned about everything in our program. So, the only thing that we can do is learn from those experiences. It's nice to learn in a win. As I said, we took baby steps forward today. If you go back and you watch everything that happened in the last 3 minutes, the first 2.5 minutes were really good. You're talking about quick strikes against a team that generally doesn't give you quick strikes. We were able to break their pressure, like I said, run a set play. We got a Jordan dunk right at the rim and an and one. And then the next time down the floor, we throw it to the middle. Dwayne or whoever it was, I think it was Dwayne, hits Ryan. Now we get a 2-on-1. Boom, we capitalize. And so we just have to be able to carry those positive experiences all the way through. Yeah, I'm always concerned. It's something we're going to continue to work on and get better at.
Coach, as far as the play, as Darius Perry, just back-to-back games where he's played well, do you sense his confidence just coming back a little more?
He did a much better job, these last couple weeks, both with his effort in practice and his play on the floor. He got tested a few times on the defensive end tonight. I thought he did a terrific job of guarding the ball, not letting it get in the lane. It's good to see he's a much better shooter than he's shown all year. And, I'm not dumb. I know that's a big part of confidence. When you feel like, you're not playing as many minutes, it's harder to be as confident as a guy that plays 30, 34 minutes. But, that's where he's at, and he's working his way out of it. And I thought his contribution tonight was awesome.
How was CeCe able to be so effective in the second half?
He has a toughness about him. Like when I met with him after the Duke game on our day off, and I just said, hey, tell me what you're thinking. And, he said, Coach, I screwed up. And he didn't use the word screwed. He said it 3 or 4 times. And, in a day and age where everybody wants to blame someone else and say, well, if he'd have gotten open or if he'd have done this, when you have ownership like that, you're able to move forward. CeCe's an awesome kid, and he is a general, and I just think he's mentally tough. And we need a couple other guys to, keep following the leader, and we're going to get better because of it. Hey, we got one of the toughest schedules in the entire country. We got 18 wins. And felt like we punted 3 games away. And so make no mistake, we got to get better in closing games, and we will. But as I said the other night, man, I love this group. They've done everything we've asked and more, and they've exceeded a lot of people's expectations outside of our locker room.
Quick follow-up on Perry there. About midway through the second half, you had Quan at the scorer's table, and then all of a sudden Perry hits that three. Was that just, once you saw him hit that three, did that just give you confidence to leave him out on the court?
Yes. He'd been in there for a while, and so it was really his turn to come out. But knowing that Darius, hasn't shot the ball well, the last thing I wanted to do is once he hits a three, hey, get him out of there. It's like, he's feeling good about himself. He's really, contributing. And so, Darius isn't a guy that gets tired. Now, if it's Enoch or somebody that gets a little winded, whether it went in or not, probably got to pull him out. But Darius could, he's an Energizer bunny, and so I want him to continue to feel good about when he's out on the floor.
Chris, Ryan had 2 huge assists there toward the end of the game. Do you consider him a good passer, great passer, terrific passer? How do you look at his passing ability?
He's a good passer. Sometimes he gets a little too cutesy with his passes. It looks one way and throws the other. And, he threw the ball out of bounds tonight on the break, if you remember. So, and I think that's just a function of, like I told him, you don't always have to be the cutest guy in the room. Make the right, solid, strong play. His defense has come miles. He's helped our team win a lot of games, but yeah, I think he's got a really good mind for the game. He sees plays develop, just like he did when Jordan curled around and got open, and he had the presence of mind to drop the defender's hands before he threw it over his hands so that we could, get that play.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.